Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here, and it is time for Chapter 5 of my Dead Space 2 Hardcore Difficulty walkthrough, where we are going to enter the crypts, and it's quite a spooky, scary area of the game. Oh my lord! That is truly horrifying. Some good jump scares in this game. The best balance for me is always atmosphere with some jump scares. Like, jump scares, they can be really well done. It's when a game just relies on nothing but jump scares that it becomes quite simply bad, I guess. But even though I don't like the game that much, Resident Evil 7's jump scares are very good. Just recently completed Last of Us 2, and although it's not a survival horror game, that game's also got a few jump scares. But yeah, the first two Dead Space games in particular, some of the jump scares are also really good. And as you can see, this room is repeated quite a number of times, done purposefully to get you used to the area and comfortable with it, and then it starts dropping in enemies. Really cool. These motherfuckers getting cryogenically frozen or something. Look at this guy, he tanks 2 TK shots and still needs a bit of pulse ammo to go down. I really need to upgrade that TK, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa! Obviously I was surprised by that guy busting out. Escapes him, but then I missed that TK shot, and I'm looking for claws to throw back. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really need to, because I know I'm going to have enough ammo. Like, Dead Space as a series, across the 3 games, the game feels very survival horror with its combat and its gameplay, but you usually have enough ammo. Like, I'm not going to pretend that when I first played these games I had tons of ammo. You know, I needed to have more than I already had. But the thing is, you've got the shop. You can buy ammo in this game. And a lot of other similar games, you can't actually buy ammo yourself. So the shop definitely makes it easier. And it's a real disappointment that pure survival in the 3rd game doesn't exist on the other games, because the 3rd Dead Space is less survival horror, yet I really like the idea of pure survival. Pure survival basically means that you only get stasis, ammo and health from the store, so enemies will not drop them. They'll drop resources, but not those resources. So everything you've got to buy. That would have been perfect in Dead Space 2, but it wasn't a thing back then. Dead Space 3 has a lot of different difficulties. Classic mode, pure survival, hardcore, which is a joke in my opinion. But none of them really feel that fun to me. Anyway, we've got this little puzzle. We need to get rid of gravity. And then we need to go upwards. Well, you can get crushed. You've got to time it just right. You've got to be careful. And there we have it. Puzzles in the Dead Space games are always pretty simplistic and comfortable. People who complain about games like these having puzzles that are too easy are playing the wrong kind of game, so they just break the monotony of the gameplay up and give you something else to do. And I like them. They don't need to be really difficult. There's the medium med pack schematic. Medium med packs cost 5,000 credits, so I'm most probably not going to be buying any at all. I might buy one or two if I'm in a bad situation and in dire need of one.
No. If they knew where we were, they would have killed us by now. Oh, shit. Signal fading.
Very dark, some of these areas. Not many modern games have the nerve to go this dark. I guess it makes sense when you consider the fact that survival horror is dead now, but yeah, this game is very, very dark. And we have purchased the security suit, which indeed looks quite badass. And just after the vent coming up, which you drop down from, if you go backwards, you get 10,000 credits immediately after. Very interestingly placed. I wonder why they did that. It must be in case you buy the security suit. They're like, here, have 10,000 credits, you're going to need them. It's an insanely high amount. Also, in the game, ladies and gentlemen, the default suits. You've got the vintage suit and the advanced suit. The vintage suit looks like shit, but I will be buying it. You get a slight discount at the store as well on items that you purchase. It looks stupid, but you also don't get to use it for that long, but it does have better armor and a few more inventory slots, so I still get it. That's around about chapter 8 and 9, I think. And then start chapter 12. When you get the advanced suit. As I can see, we've improved our stasis. And as for upgrades, if anybody's interested in my opinion, like I said, chapter 6 is when this game starts to get more challenging. And we're getting there now, slowly. Improve the stasis, capacity of the pulse rifle, power of the timed mine. I also used to use the Ripper. The Ripper in the first game, it's so hard to use, I don't even bother, but it's a lot more compact and it just feels better in this game, in my opinion. So the Ripper is a good weapon and it's versatile. You've got the primary fire where you dangle the blade. Very good for the pack, they'll just run into it. And then you've got the alt fire where you just fire off the blade. Bit unconventional, but I like the Ripper in this game. I used to use it a lot. So many good weapons, really. There's a flamethrower, which isn't as shit as it is in the first game. And you've even got the detonator, if you're feeling brave enough. I would recommend against the detonator on this difficulty, personally. As I can see, the lurkers are back. Not quite as annoying in this game, but they're still annoying. Dead Space, definitely one of the video game series where you don't take the small enemies for granted. The smaller enemies are just as concerning. And here, as we can see, I'm going into the controls and changing the aiming to center, because these parts where you're being dragged along the floor, these kind of encounters, I find much easier with the center aiming as opposed to the classic aiming. So I'll change it back in a second after it happens. There we go. And here is the pack. It's Daddy Daycare. Wasn't expecting that guy to come from the left though. This is what I usually do here, just move backwards. But eventually it gets a little bit too hot. Oh, he hit me. And I retreat into this room because I know that we're nearly done now. I guess you could go onto the second floor. But there's vents up there and I don't exactly know where they're going to spawn from. And I think, having played this game in this series so much... Ooh, look at that, I fucked myself over there by shooting him out of the radius of the bomb. But I think that's one thing that we do take for granted with this game, is the element of the vents mean that even if you've played the game quite a few times, you still might not know where they're going to spawn from. Makes it exciting for subsequent playthroughs. I would like to say that I'm surprised that developers of these kind of linear games, even though these kinds of games aren't made anymore, don't do that more often, like a randomizer to where the enemies spawn from. Maybe it's just not possible, but my god, it would make these games even more replayable. Got the puker just casually strolling towards us here, ladies and gentlemen. Take out that slasher. Oh, was that a double miss? It's all about adapting, though. It's all about enduring and surviving. After the mistake is made, you gotta come up with the goods and adapt. And I did, though. Shut up. Right, taking out that stalker with a line gun.
What's happening to you, Isaac? You tried to kill yourself.
Alright, Nicole, calm down. You're not the best waifu.
That's right. Ignore the pain. Bury it deep inside. Let me fester.
So if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Visceral Games wanted to continue with this aspect of the kind of psychosis thing that Isaac has in this game.
Dan, are you still with me?
Imagining things are there when they're not, etc. They wanted to continue with that for the third game and go even deeper with it and even more disturbing. That's what the initial vision was for Dead Space 3. And, well, would have been amazing to see. Would have been amazing to see. These guys still had a few good ideas, and I think had their wings not been clipped by EA being a bunch of fucking pricks, then we could well have seen one or two more games at the quality of Dead Space 1 and 2. Oh, I didn't see this coming.
Of course you are. Why did I trust you?
Well, you didn't have a choice, Isaac. I told you there was a cure and you came running.
Why are you doing this? Why can't everyone just leave me alone, huh?
You're a dangerous
This
city
part coming
master.
up is definitely one of the biggest action
Earth
set
won't leave you
pieces
alone
in the
because they're
game.
afraid you'll destroy their marker.
One of the craziest moments, that's for sure. And we will fight the Tormentor. I think he's called the Tormentor, but sometimes I call him the Agitator.
Markers for us.
But I think that's
To
the
spread glorious
guys in
light
Resident
to
Evil
the
5 with
galaxy.
the...
You people are unbelievable.
What are they called? The...
No, we
I
don't
forgot what the things are
want
called
you.
now. The... Not
We need that
speakers, the
precious
air
light
horn
of
things.
yours just
I don't
the
know.
way it is.
They basically attract all the enemies to you. Fucking hell, what is English right now?
Now would you escort
You know
us
what,
to
Dana?
and put him in stasis?
I hope you get your fucking head blown off.
The last thing we want is for him to die.
You daft bitch. Oh! Well. Like, this part here, it just can't be explained. Why do we not get shot yet immediately everybody else does. It's so dumb, but I just roll with it, and it's a great action set piece. Oh. Yeah, we're doing that again. Stomach, please stop rumbling. But the hell, I've already fed you. Aiming back to centre as we take on the Tormentor. Hey, that rhymed! I am spitting out these rhymes, ladies and gentlemen, lately. It's always a little bit uncomfortable, this part, because it looks like you're taking damage, but you aren't. Unless, of course, you don't immediately shoot the orange parts, and then you most probably will take damage. But I can assure you that we didn't. But it's not over yet, Snake. It's not over yet. Still a little bit more chaos to come. Shooting these explosive canisters is very annoying with the classic mode aiming enabled. Bit off-putting, ladies and gentlemen, I realise that, but we don't have to do it for a while now. We're back to classic. And on to chapter 6 we go.
Isaac, are you there? Can you hear me?
What do you want, Strauss? Look, it's over. All my plans just blew out the window.
No, it's not over. At least
Blew out the window. Isaac Clarke, ladies and gentlemen.
Isaac, we
One hell of a comedian.
What, you mean the marker? Do you know where the marker is, Strauss?
But yeah, get yourselves ready, ladies and gentlemen. We've got two 30-minute videos coming up for chapters 6 and 7.
Strauss!
2 of the hardest chapters in the game. And I'll see you there.